A day, my evil nemesis had taken my spot as valedictorian, a solid gold helicopter landed in my backyard, and I was being stalked by a prince. And it all began when I almost went into a coma. It all started as I was walking around the school garden. I spotted my favorite purple flower, but as I held it up to my nose, I panicked when I heard that all too familiar buzzing sound. I tried to swipe it and run away, but it came right at me. Ow! I dropped everything, fell to my knees, and desperately searched for my medicine. You see, I was severely allergic to bees, and if I got stung, it was just moments before I would stop breathing.
I've got you.
I turned to see Chandler, the mysterious new student at school who always wore dark sunglasses and a long coat, holding my medicine and rushing toward me just as I passed out. As I woke up, I was staring into the most beautiful yet unfamiliar face I had ever seen smiling at me. Who is this?
You're okay. I gave you your injection just in time.
I touched his face and realized that I was in his arms. I must be hallucinating because one of your eyes is brown and the other is blue.
Must be the way the light is hitting it.
He suddenly got uncomfortable and jumped up quickly, putting his dark coat and glasses back on. I immediately pushed him away when I realized it was Chandler. Wait, were you watching me?
Don't be so dramatic. This isn't your private garden. Besides, I only saw you because you were running in circles screaming like a lunatic.
I looked around to gather my things and pick myself up. And what's with the outfit, Dracula? Are you afraid I'm going to discover your secret identity? And as I turned towards him, he was already gone. Okay, no one ever has to know that the class weirdo saved my life, or that for a minute I thought about him as someone other than a Twilight cosplayer. I mean, the first time he actually talks to me and then he runs away like a crazy person, and now I'm talking to myself like a crazy person. Ugh. Hi, my name is Monica, and this is my story of how my biggest nemesis became the reason I found happiness. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. That weekend, I invited my best friend Phoebe to play tennis at my house on our private court. I told her what happened, and she started screaming like a Swiftie. Oh my God, Mon! He's totally into you. Ew, gross. Well, he never talked to any of the girls at school before, so it definitely meant something. He's too weird for me. Besides, I have so much going on with being valedictorian and homecoming queen this year. I don't have time for a fan fiction fanatic. Rumor has it that his family has ties to the mob, and that will make your love story even hotter. I can see it now. Coming to theaters soon. Mafia Queen and her mysterious man. That might be your fantasy, but mine is a little more Prince Harry than Dirty Harry. Suddenly, a solid gold helicopter landed right on the tennis court. Talk about be careful what you for. We had to hold on to the net so we wouldn't get blown into the next yard. The truth is, I was more annoyed than surprised, since we lived in a very rich neighborhood, and our neighbors were constantly landing at our house by mistake. Oh man, if this is one of the Blackpink girls again, my dad's gonna explode. But it was actually my childhood friend Ross, who'd moved to Germany when his mom married royalty. I hadn't seen him in 5 years. I barely recognized him. He ran to me and hugged me.
Hey, hot stuff. Tell me how much you miss me.
Ross? Holy extreme makeover! You look amazing! Where's the rest of you?
You like it? I lost 80 pounds, got rid of my acne, and now I wear contacts.
Are you, posing for me? Just then he spotted Phoebe standing behind me.
Who's the dweeb?
Dweeb? This is Phoebe. She's my best friend.
Of course. You needed a pet to keep you company while I was away. Okay, well, I'm back now, so run along, dweeby. Monica and I have a lot of catching up to do.
I put my arm around her to stop her from slapping Ross and smiled uncomfortably. Wow, you sure have changed.
I know. The new and improved 3.0 Ross-O-Rama.
He flexed and winked at me. Why don't you go say hi to my parents? I'll meet you inside. Just as Phoebe was about to say something to him, I put my hand over her mouth. I know he seems like a jerk, but growing up he was the sweetest guy. Please, just give him a chance. What? Oh, I said I'll give him a shot, but if his manners don't improve, I'll show him how good I am with a tennis racket. My parents told Ross he could stay with us until his parents arrived a few weeks later. I thought it would also be a good chance for us to reconnect, and for him to remind me of his sweet side that I used to love so much. Yeah, that so didn't happen. From the minute he arrived, he was bossing all the house staff around and constantly parading around with no shirt. Sure, he had a great body, but the minute he opened his mouth, I wanted to put my boot in it. Let's face it, guys, somewhere out there, there's even someone who Ryan Gosling annoys, am I right? And to make matters worse, he insisted on taking his precious gold helicopter everywhere, to the mall, the movies, and worse, to my school. One day, the helicopter landed on the football field, and as he stepped out, he took a t-shirt gun and shot shirts with a picture of his face on them at all the girls swooning over him.
Yes, ladies, and a few of you boys, I see you. Your dream man, Prince Ross, has arrived.
He walked over and put his arm around me and held my hand.
I thought I would pick you up and we can go for protein shakes at the new juice bar.
Just then, Rachel, the most spoiled little rich girl in our school and my arch nemesis, rushed up to him. We have never actually had royalty here. Would you sign this for me? Ross dropped my hand and proceeded to flirt with her.
What's your name?
Rachel, but you can call me yours. Aha! Yours. Until someone else comes along in 3, 2, 1. Excuse me. Let's face it, you change your mind about boys more often than a traffic light says go. And speaking of that, why don't you just go? Rachel went to charge at me, but Ross got in between us both.
Aw, ladies, I know it's hard, but don't fight over me.
I was so disgusted that he was acting this way. You know what? You can have him. Later that day, he came up to me at the house.
Can we talk?
If it's about how amazing you are, no thanks. I think I've had enough of the Royal Ross reality show to last me a lifetime.
Actually, I wanted to tell you I'm sorry about how I acted, and I brought you these.
He handed me a bag of gummy worms.
Remember when we were little and we used to bury them in the backyard because we wanted to set them free?
You remember that?
Of course. You were, and hopefully still are, my best friend.
You were. You are. It's just that you were acting...
I was just trying to impress you. You befriended me when no one else did, and I wanted to show you that I was finally worthy of you.
You don't need all that to impress me. I chomped on a gummy. Just you, me, and maybe we eat the worms instead of burying him this time. We stayed up all night talking, and it was like I had my best friend back. I was in such a good mood until I got to school and heard the announcement. Our new valedictorian and also homecoming queen for this year's senior classes, Rachel! I didn't hear anything after that. My blood boiled. How could she have beaten my GPA? Wasn't she failing math last week? I was so mad I wasn't looking, and I bumped into Chandler and almost fell over, dropping all my books. But he caught them and me before we hit the floor with almost superhuman speed. He pushed his sunglasses to the tip of his nose, and he looked at me with a hypnotic stare as he held me.
Running from another bee?
I could only manage to mutter as I started to melt into his gaze. GPA, homecoming.
Oh yeah, I heard. You should definitely ask for an investigation because Rachel is as likely to have gotten those 2 honors as I am to wear ballet slippers to school.
I felt like time stood still, and I never wanted it to start again. But then Phoebe walked up with a big grin on her face and tapped me on the shoulder. What you doing? I was startled, but Chandler didn't let go. His big, strong arms just held me. I'm okay now. You can let me go. He released me, took a step toward me, and whispered in my ear.
I don't know if I can let you go.
Okay, Twilight. If you're done talking with my bestie into joining your coven, we're late for class. As we walked to class, Phoebe couldn't help but tease me. He's too weird for me. I don't have time for that. I want Prince Harry. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Hubba hubba. I had after-school activities that day, so I got home late and walked into an unusually quiet house. Mom? Dad? Where is everyone? Even the staff was gone. Something was wrong. Then I heard a strange noise from the living room. I grabbed an umbrella from the closet and held it up, ready to beat up the intruder, and slammed open the door.
Whoa, okay, you can pick the movie.
I looked around to see Ross had set up a movie night for us with popcorn and gummy worms. Ross?
Hey, baby, I heard about the whole Rachel thing, and I thought you needed a little cheering up.
Where is everyone?
Your mom and dad mentioned going to dinner across town. I think they left you a note on the kitchen counter, and I gave the staff the night off so we could chill together.
It did seem sweet, but something still felt off. I sat down next to him on the couch, and he handed me the popcorn. Wait, how did you know what happened today? Did you have one of your groupies spying on me?
Aw, babe, are you jealous?
Of your Rossettes? Never.
Good, because you're the only girl for me.
He put his arm around me and went to kiss me. I was so shocked that I dumped the popcorn on his head. What are you doing? We are just friends. I don't think of you that way.
Maybe in time, you will. I'm a prince now. I can give you even more than you already have.
I'm sorry, Ross, but it's been a long day. I'm just gonna go to bed. As I walked to my room,